Hi there. Welcome to a new week of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And you are the one who drives the show. You are the key component in making the show what it is each and every day. And we look forward to your calls and your takes and your lived experiences today. I am Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgiani. The show team is in place. Michael Birchfield, Jeff Burson, and Ryan Penny. And thank you, affiliates, for carrying the program. And Debbie, I certainly hope and pray that you and Marty had a blessed weekend.
We did. It was a very busy, and it was, Mother's Day weekend. So got to videotape my mom, which was really cool for Mother's Day. She actually wished me a happy Mother's Day. It was really wonderful. And I just wanted to thank the whole Take Two family. You guys are so awesome. I can't even, I was the recipient of so much love from you guys this weekend. I can't even describe it. There's no words I can even use to describe how the love I feel in my heart for all of you. Hundreds and hundreds of beautiful messages. And I read everything. I've cried over so many of them, but I haven't had a chance to get back to everybody. And it was a beautiful weekend of love. And I'm humbled by how much you guys really care. So that was really beautiful. It's amazing.
You deserve it.
Oh, thanks. Once a year, right?
Right.
Wait a minute. Twice a year. Yeah, Mother's Day and my birthday.
That's right. Every day. Every day you deserve it, Debbie. Yeah.
But it really, we have the greatest family. We really do. The Take Two family is amazing. And you tackle all the topics. It's awesome. And we learn, we grow together, we stick together. It's just a beautiful thing. So thank you. And you put this topic on the calendar, didn't you? I still can't quite figure out what your angle is.
It's rather simple.
Okay.
The way I posted on the website. Here's the question for you today, dear listeners. Is there something in your life that you hold on to real tight? You're very possessive of. It doesn't have to be a physical thing, but each of us have things that we do in life or that we have in life that we don't like other people, infringing upon that. For me, for most of my life, it's been my sleep. I cherish my sleep, and I'm very possessive. If things wake me up in the middle of the night, or, some other things happen, interrupt my sleep. That's an example of what I'm talking about, Debbie. Something that it's not a physical thing necessarily. It can be, but it could be other things like, your reading time. Maybe you want to just slip into a quiet room of the house and get in your reading for the day, and the kids keep coming in, or the spouse comes in, or the phone rings or something, and it's interrupted, you see? So
yeah,
it could be your daily walk. It could be your favorite TV show. There may be one TV show that you want to watch. The family can watch whenever they want the rest of the 23 and a half hours of the day, 23 hours. But you have that one show that you just say, hey, you know what? The TV's mine at this time. So that's what we're asking today, and how we deal with these things. Does that help out a little bit?
Oh, yeah. But I want to ask your permission if I can change a word.
Okay.
But hold on, let me give the number. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. What are you very possessive of? 833-288-3986. Okay, go ahead, you guys. Fill up the phone lines. May I switch out the word possessive with protective? Is that okay? No,
sure. Yeah.
No? Is it just a matter of semantics? Well, you know what I mean? Because possessive, I understand where you're going with it, but you know where I'm going with this too, with the possessive being like, you're never, ever going to budge. Can I say protect? Is it protective?
Sure,
Would
yes.
that be? Would that
what the
be?
lady wants, the lady gets, of course.
And I didn't even pay you to say it was okay. That's so cool. You're already starting off the week really well.
No, Debbie, I'm very possessive of the show titles that I come up with. Okay, so no, you can't change this one.
Oh, you're too funny. Okay, because here's my question. When you said, what are you possessive of? And then you put your usual pew at mass. I mean, that is hilarious. You know how much trouble that has gotten me into when I used to do parish talks all around, for different radio stations. That possessive of a pew at mass is really bad.
It is.
Because I had all my stuff on one of the pews in the very back of the church. I mean, a box, and I was carrying in, and I was sweating profusely. It was a really hot day. This was in Utah. And it happened to be a really hot day in Utah, so I wasn't used to it, and with the elevation and everything. And the lady goes, "Could you get all your stuff out of here?" And I said, "Why?" And she said, "That's my seat."
Mm-hmm. Exhibit A of what I'm talking about right now.
Exactly. That's why the
Yeah.
word possessive kind of gets to me. It's hilarious. Okay, come on, you guys. What are you very possessive of or protective of? We want to hear from you. Everybody has those things that you're going to hold on to, and you're going to say, this is what I like to do. This is my time. How about your prayer time? You know, I know people that are very, very protective of their 5 to 5:30 in the morning prayer time, and some of them actually have chairs or little, comfy seats in the closet. And they actually pray very quietly so they don't get any disturbances. I think that's kind of interesting, don't you?
I do. Here's how you get on the show, 833-288-EWTN. As Debbie said, come on, you guys are the ones who make the show what it is. And we love you, but we know you have things that you are possessive or protective of, because we all do. 833-288-3986. And again, this could be physical things. It could be your favorite recliner. You come home from work and, the dog's in your recliner, or one of your kids is in your recliner, and you're going, man, I just really want to sit down in my favorite recliner for a few minutes.
So you throw the kid or the dog out of the recliner.
You politely ask, would you mind, especially with the dog, you say, excuse me, would you possibly mind just a little bit getting up out of my recliner?
Please, Fido, just go find another place.
Bribe him with a treat or something.
A treat. That's what you do with Duke. Now, come on, admit it.
I do.
Duke runs and rules the house. Admit it.
Yeah, anytime I need to get him to move or do anything, it's treat time.
No wonder he's getting heavier. That is hilarious. Okay, come on, Ari. You have enough of our humor during this introduction of this topic. We are already getting text messages coming in. I think people are liking this Monday morning kind of fun time that we're going, this banter back and forth. But we need to hear from you. We want to learn and grow. What are you possessive of? What are you going to hold on to so tightly that you said, no way, I'm not going to budge. This is mine. I need to do this. This is important for my health. And you know what? We want to hear from you. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call to get on your show. Take two with Jerry and Debbie.
It could be husbands, wives. It could be time alone with your spouse. Maybe you've got a house full of kids, which is absolutely awesome and fantastic. But, you get those very rare, precious moments alone. And you just really want to guard that, so that you can grow in your sacrament just together, the two of you. Maybe it's sports playing time. Maybe you like to, get out on the weekend and play a little bit of sports or something, and you just don't like chores and other things coming up, getting in the way to keep you from doing that. So it could be a physical thing. It could be something that you like to do. It could be your sleep, your reading time, whatever. What are you protective of in your life? 833-288-3986. Let us know what you feel that way about.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
Every single day, I get to help our listeners of the Sunrise Morning Show wake up, find out what's going on in the church and the world, and then walk with them as we all seek to grow in knowledge and love of Jesus Christ and the Catholic faith. I mean, how could it get any better?
The Sunrise Morning Show with Anna Mitchell and Matt Swain. Tomorrow morning, 6 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Unplanned, the true story of Abby Johnson.
I would be the youngest director in Planned Parenthood history.
She believed in a woman's right to choose.
I've had an abortion myself, so I don't have any problem with another woman making the same decision.
Until the day she saw something that changed everything.
Tiny, perfect little baby. And then it was just gone.
Now she's pulling back the curtain on the abortion industry. Unplanned.
Available at EWTNRC.com and the EWTN app.
EWTN, communicating the faith.
You get paid in heaven for the ministry that you do on here. I love your show. My life has completely changed through God's power and through His revelation. I've changed my stuff in my life. All my first fruits go to God, and I remain in God. I pray all the time. Your show is in my prayer.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
What are you possessive of? That's what we're asking you today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Things that you really guard. You guard them so much that others realize this is important to you, okay? Whether it's your prayer time, like Jerry referenced, like the recliner in the house, or maybe the remote control to the TV, you know, something that you need, or you feel like you need, in order for you to have, you know, balance in life, and you want to be happy, and you want to keep harmony in your work and in your home. So there's certain things you take very seriously that are important to you. We want to hear about it. Please let us in on your life at 833-288-3986. And real quickly, we love to highlight shows that are so important for your faith development and your spirituality. Women of Grace, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. John Ed has a special program for women and all who want to know about women's spirituality a little bit better. I love that. So please tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You know, and it's a special program for women, but I'm sure men can learn a lot and need to listen to those conversations. So please check it out.
The more men can learn about the women in their lives, the better, probably. So another great show coming up with John at Bankovic. 833-2 John at Williams. That's right. 833-288-3986. Now, we're not talking here about where you get to just throw a fit and a rant and, you know, yank the remote out of somebody's hand or kick somebody out of your favorite recliner. These are just
we're not.
These are
Okay.
these are just things that are, you know, preferences in your life, and hopefully those around you, your family, they know that you have that you want to sit down and watch the news nightly at night, and that time is kind of yours. It could be maybe you are protective of wanting to be the driver. You know, anytime your family goes somewhere, you go somewhere with your friends. You know, you really prefer to be behind the wheel, that kind of thing. So lots of things.
You're referring to me, aren't you? Just admit it.
Well, in a veiled sort of way.
Why don't we share with the Take Two family? You are like Speed Racer.
I am.
I think. Well, you're a very good driver. I mean, you are. It just makes me a little nervous.
Okay.
But you're an excellent driver. I think it's because you lived most of your adult life in California, didn't you?
No.
Oh, really?
No, probably about half of my adult life.
Okay. So but did you learn to like aggressively drive? Was it California that made you? Because I think California's a tough place to drive.
Yeah, well, you don't have to drive that way, but I guess if you want to survive, you do. So
True. You're a great driver.
Thank you.
Ryan says Hot Wheels. Did you have Hot Wheels? Oh, you were too old for that, weren't you?
No,
you
no,
did?
no. Oh, no, we had Hot Wheels. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
I've got my pen and paper out.
What is something in your life that you like to protect? If it's a physical thing, it could be something how you spend your time. 833-288-3986. Phil will start us off in San Antonio. First-time caller listening on Guadalupe Radio. Hi, Phil. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Pretty
Great.
good. Sounds like we brought up a subject you can
Pretty
relate
good.
to. What's that?
Well, it was just kind of interesting. I had other things too, but I thought I'd throw a curve on it. I've been a collector from Hot Wheel cars since 6 years old. I just have like hundreds and hundreds of them.
Wow.
Thought maybe some other people have them. I told the guy on the radio, I said, I got a closet full. I got I don't know. My wife's full of them too, by the way.
Wow.
I have a shed full of them. Just thought maybe other people kind of have the same thing, you know. You got something you really liked when you were a kid, and you just kind of always kept up with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Phil, are they still putting out new Hot Wheels, or are these ones that you've had since, like you said, when you were a kid and you were younger?
Oh, no, I'm still buying them.
Oh, okay.
I bought them back when I was a kid, and I still buy them. I don't buy them as much as I used to. I used to buy, like, everyone. They had the sets, you know, and all that. Now I just kind of buy what I like. Let me get back in my truck.
Okay.
How much do Hot Wheels cost nowadays?
Huh? Oh, they're still within $1.
$1?
Wow.
I'm going to start collecting Hot Wheels.
Yeah, still $1. I just buy them. I just buy different sets that if I see a set of like 6 ones that in a there's a series of 6 or whatever. I see I buy them all. But I just, just something like that.
So, Phil, do you
but it's something I really care about, I think, I said, man, when I get old, what am I going to do with all these Hot Wheels?
Right. Yeah, I think I was wondering, do you set the whole tracks up and run them around and do the jumps and all that?
I'm way past that. I'm way past them days.
Whew, that's a relief.
I'm 60 years old. I don't put no track out no more. I don't keep the floor.
Right.
I just buy them.
Are there other people who collect these, Phil, and do they sometimes take on a maybe more value than they originally had? Could this be like a collection, something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're way more than what they're worth. I have some that I bought back in 67. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm driving a truck right now.
That's okay. Be
I
careful.
have some that I bought back in 1967 that they were still in they call them, still covered up like it's supposed to be. And, geez, some of those guys are worth $30, $40. I probably paid 25 cents for them back then.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Can I let me ask you a question, Phil, just out of curiosity, because I was teasing Jerry at the beginning of the show that I think he's a very good driver. I want to state that up front. But he can maneuver and go in and out and go fast and go slow and everything. And then I was joking with him because I saw your call come in about Hot Wheels. I said, "Did you have Hot Wheels?" He said, "Yeah." Okay, so does that cause? How do you drive? Do you drive fast? I mean, because all those Hot Wheels, you have the sports cars, you have all the different ones, all the different colors. Does it make you get that need for speed?
I hate to say it, but I got 6 cars. I have a Dodge Challenger, a convertible Mustang, a 1974 M100.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably strings over on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rest my case. There you go. And Jerry, I think what do you have, a convertible?
I have a Sebring convertible. Yeah, it's about 11 years old now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that did it, Phil. Thank you. Wow, that is cool. Is there Hot Wheels conventions that you go to?
I haven't been in none in a while, but I did go to like one of those Comic-Con conventions.
Yeah.
And they had William Shatner was there, and I had a Star Trek Hot Wheel, and I got him to sign that sucker. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Very
My
cool.
sister would love that. She loved William Shatner. And I actually like William Shatner, too, because I understand he's a spokesperson for tinnitus, and I have that, and I know Jerry has that, so I always thank people who will go out there to raise awareness on that. That's the ear ringing thing. Right, Jerry?
Right, that ear ringing thing, yeah.
The ringing thing that doesn't stop ringing.
Yeah. All right,
Thank you, Phil.
Thanks, brother, for the phone call from Guadalupe Radio Network in San Antonio. Have a blessed day. Be safe driving out there. And you will never be a first-time caller again, but we hope you will call again to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We are talking today about things in our lives that we really feel like we want to kind of guard and protect a little bit, that we're maybe possessive of. It could be your sleep time, your favorite TV show. There's Phil. He's a Hot Wheels collector. You could be a coin collector, and you want to kind of guard that time that you, maybe an hour a day or a little bit of time on the weekends. Maybe it's your favorite recliner that you like to recline in, time alone with your spouse. What is something, and again, this isn't so much outing ourselves, it's just saying, this is something that I feel is important to me, and I like to make sure that time is protected. 833-288-3986.
Okay, I'll ask you, but before I ask you what you guard, I'll just tell you what I guard. I used to guard my sleep. I used to protect my sleep. I loved sleeping until about 12 years ago. Now I wake up, as everybody knows, in the middle of the night at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So, but I used to be very protective of sleep. How about you?
Sleep, definitely. It used to be more so than it is now.
Oh, you wake up too?
I wake up a few times during the night. The other day after we did the show where we talked about waking up during the 3 o'clock hour, that night I woke up at 3:33, if you can believe that.
Our guardian angels have a sense of humor.
But yeah, you know what I do with it? I mean, I'd rather be asleep, but I will pray a chaplet of divine mercy if I wake up during the 3 o'clock hour. And it usually aids in, kind of getting me ready to go back to sleep. And also, it's a good use of awake time if you're going to be laying in bed awake.
Right. Very cool. Okay. Well, we want to hear from you. There are a couple open phone lines. It is Monday, but we want to hear from you. Maybe some of you are getting back out there into the world and doing the things that you need to do. And you can maybe are thinking about this. If you could pull over to the side of the road, make a safe call. We'd love to hear from you at 833-288-3986. What are you very protective of? Something that you need for your mind, your body, your spirit, and you just don't want anybody else to come into your territory. We want to hear from you. 833-288-3986. Call in. This is your show. We love first-time callers. So let's hear what Rosemary has to say. And Rosemary is in Fairfax, Virginia. Hi, Rosemary. Welcome to Take Two. Hello, Rosemary.
Hello, Rosemary.
Hello.
Hey, there you are. How are you?
Hi. Sorry, I'm good. How are you all?
Doing pretty well. So what do you get a little bit protective of, Rosemary?
So my whole life, for whatever reason, I've been very protective of my sleep, and I heard you guys say that you were as well. It's really preached to us in culture that you have to have your 8 hours, be healthy and strong and all that. And it was actually after the birth of my first son that I was just up all night long feeding the baby, and just he was very upset a lot as a young infant, and I began really grasping at my sleep and obsessing over how much I wasn't getting that I thought I needed. And after the birth of my second son, I realized I started being inspired by St. Catherine of Siena, and I learned that some nights she would purposely only get 30 minutes of sleep and spend the rest of the time in prayer. And I thought, wow, a saint who is purposely giving up her sleep for Christ so that she can draw near from his strength. And it's in our weakness that he's strong. And so anyways, my mindset shifted to being obsessed with sleep to now really trying to prioritize just some time in prayer every morning because, we're all going to be tired either way. And some nights are going to be rough when you have a lot of kids, which are a blessing straight from the Lord. And so now what I obsess over is that 15 minutes every morning to just call upon the strength of God, to be at peace, maybe read some scripture or a reflection from Blessed is She or Bishop Barron. And, it's a shift, with our tendency to want to be obsessed with our sleep. But what's even more powerful when we live for eternity is that time in prayer. And that's what I'm aiming for every day, to be protective of that.
That is beautiful. Rosemary, I think I heard it correctly. I just want to make sure. You said St. Catherine of Siena? Is that the saint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. To give up something, yours was interrupted in a good way for the kids, right? And so now to shift it and make it something that is very, very positive for your spiritual life. Well, it's only going to enhance your the graces here, and then also for all of eternity, hopefully. So, I mean, how beautiful is that? I find that to be really. I love what you shared, because I think sometimes when something that we're very possessive of or protective of is infringed on or invaded or taken away, we grab for something else for that immediate fix. And I love this how it transitioned into something extremely beneficial for the soul. Did I get that correct, Rosemary? I just want to make sure, because I was taking notes as you were talking.
Yes, and sometimes the things that we lament giving up are really the things that when we offer up have the greatest impact. Mm-hmm. And the things that we hold tightest to is what God is saying to just give to him. Open our hands and, he will sustain us. And that is the biggest lesson in all this for me is I kept searching for how can I get my kid to sleep better? And what are all the tips and tricks from all the moms to stay energized? And it really is at the end of the day, what feeds our soul is what makes us come alive. And it's not always the physical. It's so much more the spiritual that energizes us. So that is my desire. And sometimes it involves my husband keeping me accountable and his willingness to give up his sleep so that I can have that prayer time, so that there is someone watching the kids or getting what everybody needs. He has to say, hey, honey, you're in a bad mood. Did you do your prayer time this morning? Hey, let me watch the kids so that you can go, get what you need. It does involve a team effort there. So spouses, look out for each other.
Exactly. And one of the Bible passages that occurred to me, Rosemary, as I was preparing for the show was Job chapter 1. And we all know what happened to Job. He had everything that was dear to him taken away from him. And what does he say? He did not curse God, but he said, the Lord gave and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And I always like to say we need to hold on to our possessions firmly enough to be responsible, but loosely enough to be generous if God asks for something back or circumstances in our lives require us to give something up. So way to go, Rosemary. Great call. We appreciate that. 833-288-3986. You want to be next to talk about something that you are protective of in your life here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Gloria Purvis.
We have the wrong understanding and appreciation of pregnancy. We need to do what's best for the child, not what's convenient for the mother, the father, or the doctor.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
Hey, Take Two family, it's here, and we can't wait for you to see what we've created to help you reach your highest potential in life. It's StandTallToday.com, our brand new website loaded with just the things you're looking for. Those include our team of life coaches, resources picked out just for you, our webinars, book club, and more. Whether you're struggling to find your purpose or feel like you have it pretty much figured out, let us help you today at StandTallToday.com. That's StandTallToday.com.
This Easter season, read for faith, read for truth, read for life by giving yourself the gift of EWTN's National Catholic Register. Easter inaugurates a joyous season of hope and renewal that brings us closer to God. Gain a deeper understanding of His love and providence in reading the Register. Make this Easter season even more meaningful. Try the Register for free today and get it delivered to your home, office, or parish. To get your 6 free issues, order online at ncregister.com/radio or call 800-421-3230 and mention code RADIO. That's ncregister.com/radio or call 800-421-3230 and mention code RADIO. The National Catholic Register. Read faithfully.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. Please join us for Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
This is your show. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. Thank you to the affiliates and the show team for making this show possible, bringing it to you every day. I'm Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgiani, and we're talking today about anything, maybe just one thing in our lives that we like to guard and protect a little bit. It's important to us. It's not that we wouldn't skip it if something came up. I mean, if you have, you're talking about you protect your sleep, but the neighbor's house is burning down. I mean, you're going to get up and forego your sleep, of course. We're not talking about that you wouldn't ever in any circumstance, not give that up. But just something you like to guard and keep in its place as it's kind of a benefit to you in some way, mind, body, spirit. 833-288-3986. We'll get back to the calls, but Debbie, I want to mention with Memorial Day coming up. Yeah, Memorial Day coming up. We want to hear stories from our Take Two listeners about the heroic deeds of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Do you or someone you know have a story of those who have lost their lives in battle? Call us and tell us a heroic tale on our listener comment line. Write this number down, 205-795-5773. I'll repeat that in a minute, and we will use some of your stories on our Memorial Day show. It'll be a pre-recorded broadcast. That number again is 205-795-5773. 795-5773. If you have a dad, a grandfather, maybe a daughter or a son who has paid the ultimate price for our country, we will air those on Memorial Day. 205-795-5773.
Okay, there's plenty of time to get on to the show today and jump into this discussion. We need your help on this to figure out what we're going to learn from this. We had a great calls so far. I just wanted to also say I forgot to do this. Rosemary, happy Mother's Day. You're a mom, and you sound like a great mom, and we wanted to wish you a happy Mother's Day. Also, one of our Take Two family members, Joni from San Angelo, was on the line. She shared with Ryan that she will call back, and we are praying for you, Joni, and your whole entire family. Please, yes, if you can call back in the next couple days or weeks, we just want to stay updated and see what else we can do by way of prayer. Maybe getting a little bit more focused on different ways we can pray more intentional. So, Joni, thank you so much for calling in and checking in with us. And we want to hear from you. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. You'll speak to Ryan Penny. He is so wonderful to talk to. Sometimes we just call him up and talk to him just because we can. So why don't you do that?
Keeps him in practice.
What? It keeps him in practice,
Gives him
right?
practice, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Dutch is in Seattle, Washington. He's our friend, and he's on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Dutch. Welcome.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. How you doing, brother?
Surviving. Aviation industry out here, as you know, is really taking it on the chin in the worst way possible with the 737 MAX meltdown and the contagion that was just another blockbuster that nobody saw coming.
Right.
The thing I like to do the most, well, not the most, but one thing that the good Lord's could really reach me on was when I'm out riding any one of my motorcycles. I've got 5 of them, old Japanese 1970s and 80s super bikes, only 2 of which are operational right now. And because of I've got to do rideshare driving all the time and that kind of thing, I can't afford to get the Suzuki GS 1150 going again, and I can't find gas tanks for the 2 Kawasaki 1000 Ninja. And I was involved a few years ago with the Washington Motorcycle Road Racing Association safety marshaling at Pacific International in Kent and the Ridge Raceway in Shelton with the local Christian Motorcycle Association group. But send you an email on that later. But like I said, it's something I really have enjoyed a lot in the last 40-odd years. Made lots of good friends, on the road and at the racetrack and that kind of thing, because I used to race myself a long time ago. And that's just taken taking it on the chin with a 20-pound sledgehammer in the last few months and years. And it's just one more thing I'm struggling with. And I just found out yesterday when I was planning to go for a ride, even though it was like 90 degrees here in the Seattle area, my father-in-law was diagnosed with Corona-19. So talk about getting the 10-gauge in the gut and all that.
Right.
So just like to hear what you got about that one, Jerry and Deb, and God bless you guys for doing so much for so many people.
Well, God bless you, Dutch. And we do have you in prayer every day, and you send us the emails of what's going on, and we're just praying for God to shower you with blessings and everything it is that you need in life, and maybe even some of the things that you want in life. But I think this stuff that you do with the motorcycles, I think it's really awesome. It's helpful. It's beneficial to you in so many ways. Obviously, in doing the mechanical stuff, you use your hands and your mind, and maybe get your mind off of other things. Hopefully, some of the things that aren't going really as well as you'd like in your life. And then I'm sure I've done a little bit of motorcycle riding, but tell us how it feels for you, Dutch, when you get out there on the road. Maybe it's a backcountry road somewhere. It's just you and God, and you're going for a ride there. What is that like?
Okay, well, my workhorse is a 79 Yamaha SX 1100. That was Yamaha's first super bike in the late 70s. I've had that thing 25 years now. And like I said, that's my workhorse. It's not the best handling. It's not the fastest thing in the world anymore, but then again, what is? My late wife, Kathy, bought me a 1984 Honda VF1000F Interceptor, They only made that one for 1 year, and there's less than 2,000 in existence worldwide. And that's a sport bike. That handles a lot better than the Yamaha does because it's based on a road race bike that Honda used at Daytona in 1980. And it's really smooth and comfortable. The other one is like I said, is 85 GS 1150 Suzuki, which is still used as the basis for a pro stock drag bike because you can just modify that engine to the nth degree and it'll still stay together and make prodigious amounts of power. Again, that one's sort of like a sport bike, but it's nowhere near as refined or good as the Honda. And the 2 Kawasaki 1000 Ninja, that was the basis for Earl Roloff's formerly USA Championship bike in 1986 at Willow Springs. It's in an old issue of Cycle Magazine. He nicknamed the bike the Terminator. And I've always liked Kawasaki's a lot, and I've got 2 of them. But again, I'm having trouble finding gas tanks for those things because the stock tanks were the thinnest, lowest quality steel that rusted in a heartbeat. So I'm no wrench myself. I don't have the time. I don't have the tools. I don't have the talent. I don't have the space. And I've got arthritis in my left hand, so I can't play guitar anymore either. But the thing, each bike's different. You got to ride each one differently, and thank goodness we're blessed with a lot of nice, twisty roads up in the mountains here to the east of us, some of which are more treacherous than any racetrack I've been on.
Right.
That's the one place where the good Lord can really get my attention one way or another, whether it's just chugging along at 45 miles an hour, admiring the waterfalls, or going around a turn, dragging my knee, outrunning my friends in their Porsches and all that. So
it must be very
it's really
freeing.
interesting. And Vicky loves riding with me too once in a while, mostly on the Yamaha.
Yeah, it must be very freeing, right, Dutch?
Yes, incredibly so. I mean, I wanted to become a pilot and all that, but I wasn't physiologically capable of it. But this is just about the next best thing.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Can I just go back? You said you made a comment that you got hit really hard because your father-in-law got COVID-19.
He got diagnosed yesterday with a quickie. Yeah, it's one of those quickie tests.
Oh, he did.
I don't know if that thing's 100% reliable or dependable or statistically and all that, but just hearing that alone felt like somebody dropped Mount Rainier on me, and it didn't kill me when it hit me,
Right. Oh, I know. It's shocking.
His name's Jim.
I was just going to say, because I want to put him in the book. Okay, Jim. Okay, everybody will start praying. Please keep us posted, Dutch. Please do. And our call screener, Ryan, just texted over and he said he was just curious if you're into the adventures of Bear Wozniak and what, you probably have seen him on EWTN, but Bear Wozniak is big on the motorcycles. Have you heard of him?
Bear's a great guy, and I like his show once in a while, but it pains me to say this, but my participation, I got pushed out of the local CMA chapter because these guys favor big, huge, Milwaukee-made touring bikes. And I hate to say this, but they didn't like the fact that I was Catholic, and they were really xenophobic about old Japanese sport bikes and that kind of thing. I mean, it's a blasted shame and all that, but I mean, like I said, Bear's just of a different motoculture than and I don't fit into that. And hey, you get that once in a while, but God bless Bear and what he's doing, and everything, and everybody like him. I know it's not what you probably wanted or needed to hear, but I'm being honest with you, and it's the truth.
Oh, no.
But Bear's a great guy, and I just want him to succeed completely at what he's doing.
Sure.
He's doing great work.
He is, yeah. And that's what we're all about here, Dutch. We want everybody to feel very free to just share, and we learn, we grow, and we challenge one another. We talk about things. It's wonderful. It's a great, safe conversation, right, Jerry?
Absolutely. Well, Dutch, you remain in our prayers every day, and we know that you're a prayer warrior praying for us and the Take Two family. So I know we can count on you to continue that. Correct?
All the time, Terry. Okay. We all need each other. We all got to watch each other's six.
That's right. Yep. Well, God bless you. Be safe out there on those bikes and have a blast. Okay, just give God all the glory, like you said. It just gives you that quiet time with God. So you ought to be protective of that, and I'm glad that you are. Thanks, Dutch, for the phone call.
Thank you, Dutch.
God bless you guys.
833. Thank you. 833-288-3986. Talking about those little or even not so little things in our lives that they're part of our routine. And, it's not like we get mad or angry or shout at people when they get interrupted or interfered with, but we just prefer to have those things in place when we are ready to go take part in them, like watching your favorite TV show. We had a caller say prayer time. Other people say they value their sleep and don't like that to be interrupted. Of course, Debbie, as you know, and Rosemary, I believe it was Rosemary who pointed this out, once you become a parent, that has to come off your list, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Things that you're possessive of.
It's very true. Very, very true. Okay, we probably shouldn't do this with but we could, if we go quickly, we could get a couple phone calls. How about this? Does anybody have a man cave in the house, or I guess the female version now is called the she shed? Do you have that, where you go into your special place and you do your hobbies, your crafts, you read a book, you watch TV, and no one can enter unless they have the secret password? It's true. That's what they call it. It's called a man cave or a she shed or something like that. Yeah. And I saw it on TV. It was hilarious.
Well, I know about the man caves.
Yeah.
I never heard it for a woman called a she shed.
I have a confession to make. You ready?
You have one?
Marty does. It was so cute. I was at one of these craft stores, and they had this really just well done sign, and it was framed and everything. It was very, very nicely done, and it says "Man Cave." So I bought it for Marty. He put it over his office door. And then every once in a while, he reminds me, he goes, "This is my man cave." I said, "Marty, it was just a nice gift I gave you. Okay." It really isn't your man cave, but if you want to think it is.
So do you have a place you get away to in the house?
I don't. Isn't that interesting? Now that you said that, I don't. Well, I guess the studio for when we do the show, would that be considered something that's only mine?
Well, I can't answer that for you.
Okay. Okay,
it's Marty's. No, Marty is the other name on the deed, not mine.
That's right. Right. What about your house? I mean, what about the your where you do the show? Is that considered your private library?
More or less. I'm in there a lot. Obviously, my computer is in there. I work in there. I do the show in there, and that's where I do my daily prayer time too. And it works out really great because I will bring up EWTN live Eucharistic adoration on my TV. On my computer. And I just ask the Lord, I say, "Lord, let it be as though I were right there in your presence." And I know that the grace of God is there. And I get my prayer time done while looking at Eucharistic adoration online. So, yeah, I do like to guard that time. It's not a set time for me necessarily, although I like to do it in the morning before the show. But sometimes that isn't possible, so I just do it a little bit later in the day.
Right. Okay, so this is hilarious, you guys. I think a lot of places around the country have opened up, because I actually live on a very busy street, and I can hear the cars zooming by. Just so everybody must be out and about, and I can hear the landscapers and everything. So I wonder if that's why everybody's like, we're up and running, or some parts of the country are up and running. So everybody's out there saying, this is pretty cool. We get to go out in our cars and start them up and not have dead batteries, right, Jerry? I had a dead battery. Did I tell you about that?
You did, yeah.
I did. It cost me $183.
Well, did you need a new one? Or?
Yeah, he tried to convince me. He says, "This is really old. You're lucky, living in Arizona. You're lucky it's lasted this long. You really need a new one." So he says he gave me a deal, but I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes. How do you know sometimes?
I don't know. I needed to get the car running. What was I going to do? Dry out in the desert here. But Jerry, real quickly, I wanted just to share this. We prepare all week, for the shows, and we do our research and everything like that. And I just wanted all of you to really be thinking about this for tomorrow's show, because, it's on the calendar. It's been on the calendar for a couple weeks, but it's a very important show. I think so anyway. I think Jerry would agree with me. And we're talking about, do you make regular visits to the cemetery? Regular visits to the cemetery to pay your respects to those that have passed on, your loved ones, friends, friends of friends, just even sometimes people enjoy walking through and just praying for all the souls that have been on this earth. Do you still clean off graves and bring flowers? Some places you can still bring fresh flowers. Some you have to bring silk arrangements. Some you're not allowed to. You have to do certain things, whatever they require for the cemetery. I'm just curious, because when I was a little kid, my mom, instilled that in us. Well, especially in me. I was the youngest, so I think she dragged me along. And she always used to say to me, whatever you do, always pay your respects. Always, take care of those that really, were helped, to build this earth and contributed to this world. And I always remember that. Do you go to visit the cemetery? I'm just curious. I know we're off subject, but I'm just curious. Do you go, Jerry?
Well, I don't go to visit. There are a couple close to where I live that I drive by often, and I will always say a prayer, make the sign of the cross as I drive by. But all of my family and loved ones are buried in the Seattle area, and I live in Southern California.
Okay.
So, but on Mother's Day, my brother-in-law, who was married to my late sister Mary, he went to the cemetery and took a picture of her headstone and our mother's headstone, and sent a text to all of us 4 boys in the family saying Happy Mother's Day. And so I thought that was really nice of him, because it gave us that connection without actually even having been there, because I mean, I've gone out there. Every time I go to Seattle, I do go to the cemetery, though. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. How beautiful. So you have that. Maybe you could post that picture tomorrow. You have that picture, don't you?
I do.
Wow.
2 different pictures, yeah.
2 different pictures.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Isn't that, did they know you were doing the cemetery show?
No.
Wow. See how the Holy Spirit works?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, real quickly, I just wanted to say to our wonderful EWTN family, please carry your EWTN. Carry EWTN everywhere you go. And it's so easy when you download the EWTN app. It took me a while to do that, you guys, to download apps. But now that I'm so hooked on downloading apps, it's great. And it's so true. You can take EWTN everywhere you go. You can enjoy EWTN live TV and radio streams, audio and video on demand, EWTN news, program schedules. There's prayers, there's devotionals. And it's so simple. All you got to do is download the app at EWTNapps.com. Okay.
And something else I prepared for the show today, it's a parable that Jesus tells I think it's in all 3 Gospels, excuse me, but the version that's in Matthew, it's Matthew chapter 19, verses 16 through 30. And it's the parable of the rich young man who, comes to Jesus and is wondering, what he needs to do to, to be a follower of Jesus. And Jesus tells him, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, honor your father and mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And we know that the young man said to him, all these I have kept. What do I still lack? Jesus said to him, if you would be perfect, go, sell what you possess and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come follow me. Verse 22, very sad verse in the Bible. When the young man heard this, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. And the reason I was drawn to that, Debbie, is because everything that we have is given to us by God. We're to be stewards of it. But anytime somebody else has need of it, I'm not talking about giving your house away to somebody who needs it or something, but we need to be, I think we need to have an interior disposition of detachment. Would you say that? So no matter whether it's time that we like to spend doing something,
right,
or it's physical things that we own, right, we need to realize that these are all material things, and they're not going to last after this life.
Okay, this is no joke. Are you ready for this? See, you and I, we always talk prior to the shows and try to see where each other, where we stand on things and our come from and everything. And you were so nice, Jerry. You didn't really talk with me to prepare for this show because it's Mother's Day. So you were giving me that Mother's Day, which is wonderful. But Jerry, that's what I wrote down. I'm looking at it right now. I wrote, listen to this. I wrote detachment and I put a star next to it.
Right.
So I was thinking the same thing, Jerry. I mean, it's so true. When we practice that beautiful virtue of detachment, we do have that awareness and that understanding that everything's of God. And like you said, we are to be good stewards of it, but we're not to hold on so tightly that it stifles our growth. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us in almost we can almost get into near occasions of sin because of it, right? And so it's the art or the virtue of detachment. Absolutely, Jerry, you nailed it.
Well, yeah, it's just so important because again, God has given us everything that we have, and we can't take it with us, obviously, but again, this is not to be reckless or foolish with the things that we have. We need to take good care of them, but always be ready. Should God call us, maybe an occasion will come up where you're having a financial difficulty and you've got a big coin collection or a Hot Wheels collection, and you're looking around saying, in order to make this month's rent or to the mortgage payment or what have you, I'm going to need to do something maybe out of the ordinary, and if you have that interior disposition of detachment, then it's a little bit easier to do things like that than it might otherwise be.
Mm-hmm. Very true. I think this was really good. I think we great calls. We learned it's a lot to think about and to make adjustments in our own life. And I think this was a very, very healthy, productive show. So thank you so much for everybody that participated via YouTube and Facebook and got a ton of text messages. Thank you so much for that. And emailing us. You can always email us and keep the conversation going at take2@ewtn.com. And Jerry, if I can, I know you highlighted it one time. One more time, with Memorial Day coming up, folks, we do want to hear your stories from our Take Two listeners about the heroic deeds of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. So do you or someone you know have a story of those who have lost their lives in battle? So call us and tell us this heroic tale on our listener comment line. And that is a different number. You ready? It's 205-795-5773. And we will use some of your stories on air for our Memorial Day show. I'm looking forward to that. And don't forget, folks, we have our 5-year anniversary for Take Two, June 15th. And we're going to be celebrating Anniversary Week. So stay tuned in with us and stay attached to us by maybe liking our Facebook page, Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, and you can participate in Anniversary Week. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Wanted to mention, too, Brian, our good friend and listener in Beaufort, Georgia, watching on the Facebook video stream, says, I'm fairly protective of my workout time. See, I used to be, too, until I got to an age where anytime I work out, things just start hurting all over the place. But Brian said, whether it be strength training or on the elliptical, etc., I really don't like to get interrupted during that time. I'm usually only busy doing that like 45 minutes or so. So the family knows, unless it's an emergency, it can wait until I'm done. Thanks and God bless. So it's good that the family has that understanding, and I'm sure it maintains harmony in the house and keeps Brian in great physical shape.
Absolutely. You got to do certain things like that and be protective just to keep that balance. We talk about that all the time in our Catholic life skills about balance. It's all about balance, about the balance wheel. We use that as a tool. It's really great. So thanks again, you guys. Keep the conversations going. We love to read all of your comments. By the way, again, may we say this? We read everything you send us. It is a wonderful situation to have, but really at this point there needs to be 4 of us to respond, and there's only 2 of us, and so we may not be able to respond to each and every comment or email or call or text that comes in, but we read everything and we value it. We love it. We love you guys so very much. I just want everybody to know we read everything, because sometimes we get somebody that will email 2 and 3 times and say, "Did Jerry and Debbie get my email?" Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm. And we love getting your email correspondence as well, so we thank you for all of that. Maybe a little bit of an exercise take away from this program today. Let's all just ask the Lord today in a quiet moment or sometime in the near future, to give us the grace to be detached from worldly things and from the things that we kind of make those special things that we don't like to be disturbed or interrupted. I'm not saying to get rid of those things, but just let's pray to God that we would have a detachment that would enable us to be ready to bless anybody who needs us to bless them. If they need our time, our talent, our treasure, that we are going to be right there and ready to do that by the grace of God.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Okay, and tomorrow's show is about, do you make regular visits to the cemetery and pay your respects to those that have passed on? We want to hear from you tomorrow. Until then, have a beautiful and blessed day. See you real soon.
You've heard of the incredible shrinking man? This is Dr. Ray Gurendi. I am the incredible manly shrink. The doctor is in next.